They get upset, and then they go on the warpath and start winning, and then maybe give them a match at WrestleMania. You need to put at least 2 of them in the tag team mix, have them go for the gold. Maybe have Bray Wyatt go after, I don't know, the U.S. title, have him go up against Kalisto, have him go up against...
Yeah, but of course he's going to beat on a little guy. He's been talking all this trash to beat up John Cena, to beat up The Undertaker. I mean, how much more of this can we take?
Not much, because you're getting frustrated. I can hear in your voice. I'm getting frustrated just watching it. And it's frustrating because you just see this time and time again. Oh, I'm the new face of fear. Let me go against The Undertaker, I lose. Let me go against this guy, I lose. John Cena, whoever we thought we saw maybe the turn of the corner with Bray Wyatt. Maybe he was going to get over because he was going to beat the face of the WWE. And then what happens? He loses. I can see the look on your face right now. You are frustrated beyond belief. You are so frustrated.
But it was hard enough that I had to deal with that. And then Charlotte and Brie Bella come on, and they have no chemistry at all in the ring. They're trying to sell us on Daniel Bryan for Brie Bella to get her, a fan approval. And it's kind of mixed because, first off, Brie Bella has been heel for so long.
Mm-hmm. And now all of a sudden she's wearing the pads that Daniel Bryan that he used for his WrestleMania match against Triple H, and then you have her in the ring. She got a little bit of a yes chant when she was doing the kicks, and then all of a sudden she starts screaming "Brie mode," and then people are just kind of looking at her like nobody really responded to that. It was kind of like half of the arena acknowledged it, and the other half were just like, yeah.
And Charlotte plays a great heel, especially working with Ric Flair. I like the dynamic of them two together. I think it's great.
But the match was just flat beyond belief.
But they missed moves. It was, and it's because Brie really can't wrestle. I even said this yesterday. I said, you know what? Nikki has come such a long way as holding that Divas Championship, and then you have her sister, who really doesn't get that much wrestling time. And it's funny because in the promo before the match, Brie goes, well, Daniel got hurt and my sister Nikki got hurt, and I'm the last one here. I'm the last strong one here. Well, it's basically because they barely use you and you don't wrestle.
Yeah, exactly. And I think kind of I think the WWE kind of feels, well, now he's retired. Let's run on this train and see, because it's Daniel Bryan's wife. Let's see if the crowd can get behind her. But when you can't wrestle, nobody's going to get behind you. It's not going to be entertaining. And it's going to look the way it looked last night, god-awful.
Yep, and there were thoughts, I read this online last night, that they are going to try to maybe do a fatal four-way for the Divas title with adding Brie Bella to the mix. I'm telling you this right now. If this Divas World title match is nothing short than either Charlotte versus Sasha Banks or Charlotte versus Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch, it's going to be a bust.
Oh, 100%.
Let those three go at it. You've been priming them up to be the Divas Revolution and to run the show. Let those three make magic.
And if it doesn't happen, like you said, it's going to be just total bust. But will even Nikki be cleared to wrestle?
No, not Nikki, Brie.
So who's the other one? You said Brie?
Brie, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch.
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thut you said Nikki was coming. I'm like, wait
a
minute.
No, she's out for a while.
Yeah.
She ain't coming back for a while. She might never come back.
If it's Fatal 4-Way, the only thing I could see that being a Fatal 4-Way is if they attack Brie quickly and she does the whole lying outside the ring for a while and milking it, but then if they do that, is she going to be the one who comes in and scores the pin at the last second? That would be just god awful as well. Either way you look at it, like you said, Fatal 4-Way, Buster-Rooney.
Buster-Rooney. The Loganator's breaking out the Buster-Rooney.
Yeah, I am.
We might need to make that an award at the end of the year.
Buster-Rooney award?
Yep.
I like that.
I'll write that down here. My little pad. Buster-Rooney.
And what else did we have? Oh, we also had another match that just had me scratching my head. why was it even on the card, was R-Truth versus Social Outcast Curtis Axel.
I said they couldn't have saved this for Raw, and you even went further. You're like, they could have put this on Superstars.
They could have put this on the pre-show and had Kalisto and Alberto Del Rio take that spot.
We were all scratching our heads like, oh, did someone get hurt? What are they filling time? What's going on here? Why were they even on the pay-per-view? And you don't even get a payoff with R-Truth and Goldust.
No.
There was no payoff.
None whatsoever. He cost him the match.
He cost Truth the match by accident. And then I was like, are they going to hit each other? What's going on here? And there was no payoff, man.
You're very, very upset. You're very upset. As am I.
It was confusing. I mean,
now if you were to give this a grade,
that's not even it either, because then before that you have the Edge and Christian.
I forgot about
rated R peep show, whatever they wanted to call it, interview the New Day, and I'm like, oh, maybe Enzo and Cass are going to come out, and they have a good segment with each other, and somehow the League of Nations gets brought into this.
Then it just goes downhill fast.
And I'm like, wait a minute, are they turning the New Day face like fully? I was like, I like how they are right now, where they're in between. Yeah. And they run out of the ring, then Edge and Christian run out of the ring, and it's like,
it's just nonsense.
I don't understand. Where are we going with this?
It's basically a cheap plug for their new TV show on the network. That's what it comes down to. I don't know why the New Day weren't on the card to wrestle. Should have at
There's
least
no tag teams to wrestle.
Where are the Usos? Didn't they just?
How many times do you want to see New Day Usos?
That's true. Where are the Dudleys? So you have the Dudleys who
they weren't even. You didn't even see them on the pay-per-view after their about-face heel turn. You didn't even see them.
At least have them go up against the Dudleys. You have these guys who are gaining momentum as a heel. You have the New Day who is teasing and toying with the idea that they're going to turn face. Why not do that match and see what goes on with that? Another thing they just dropped the ball on.
Yeah, man.
So what would be your overall grade for this pay-per-view?
Man, I don't want to kill the WWE.
Well, sometimes you got it.
That had a D written all over it.
So I'll give it a D minus. You had,
because the main event was good to me.
But the
ending was bad.
But there's so many botcheries. I felt like
Botchamania all over the place.
I feel like I was watching an independent show in the middle of nowhere on a Friday night, having like 5 guys in the ring, and it was like basically they just came out of wrestling school. That's how I felt.
It was definitely the worst event of the year so far.
Now, do you think that Triple H and Stephanie and Vince were pleased with this pay-per-view?
I think Vince is just trying to follow through with this story. It's confusing to me because Raw and NXT are such different animals.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. Who's running the big league squad? Who's running it?
Nope, I don't even know. I guess it's still Vince. I mean, we know that Triple H is running NXT. We have seen that's his baby. We see him with the new signings. We see him always posting on his Twitter about NXT. We see him on his Instagram about NXT. That's his baby. Now, when it comes to Raw, it seems like it's just taking a few wrestlers, throwing against the wall, and see what sticks. If it's good, okay, great. If not, we'll just buy time and create all these factions and storylines and decide, hey, if it doesn't work, we'll just end it, and nobody will really care. Nobody will really know. But here's the thing. People do care, and they want to know what's going to happen next. Why this story ended abruptly. What's going to happen? And I think fans are getting frustrated. I joined a whole bunch of wrestling pages last week, and everybody in the one post was just furious today. I was reading it on my break at lunch about how Roman Reigns and how the WWE it's just horrible. I could read some of them, but a lot of them are not fit for radio. the words that they used. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fans out there are really frustrated, and I think eventually fans are going to start looking. They're already starting to look elsewhere.
Yeah, it's going to be the finishing of this story will be told at WrestleMania for sure. We will know where fans stand probably at WrestleMania. We'll probably even find out more tonight because they need a bounce back on Raw tonight.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll know more after WrestleMania. There's really no other product except for NXT to watch because unless you have the channels that have Ring of Honor and even TNA, you can't really watch them.
Yeah, I mean, you do have YouTube, so you can look at like old stuff from TNA and Ring of Honor, but I don't know. I think TNA, they used to, I don't know if they still do, but they used to have like the current matches on YouTube. So
they do have a YouTube page, yes.
But how many people are really interested in watching TNA? I mean, you said last week that you tried watching one episode and it was so painful for you to watch because of the storylines and the bad camera angles.
It's been hard, and I haven't really given it a chance. I think I'm going to give it a chance this week. We'll get a little bit into that and more news when we come back. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into what's going to happen on Raw tonight, some other news going on in the WWE that happened last night and today, a new member of the Hall of Fame, and a big night for TNA tomorrow night because they have a big television, one-night only pay-per-view coming up.
Also, we got a tweet. We got a retweet today.
A retweet from a WWE announcer that we gave a little praise to. We'll get into that when we come back. This is Ringside Rumble Radio here on the UCR Network, powered by Spreaker.com and free on iTunes.
So, I'm a dog, and I just got adopted by this new human guy, and I'm starting to wonder how he got along without me. I mean, okay, something as simple as walking around the block. He's got this leash thing, and he puts me on one end and him on the other, and I'm just taking him around. I think he's afraid of getting lost. Without that leash and me guiding him along, I don't think he'd find his way back home. But it's kind of cute.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Unified Championship Radio.
Ringside Rumble Radio here on the UCR Network, powered by Spreaker.com, and now free on iTunes. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/UCR Network. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at UCR Network. And remember, if you want to tweet to us, use the hashtags UCR Network or RRR. And Raw tonight, my friend, is going to be, I guess, the aftermath
interesting
of Fastlane.
The aftermath and the beginning of what should be a huge 42 days for the WWE because they have 42 days to get in place storylines for this WrestleMania 32.
Well, they also said beginning of Raw tonight, it will take a roughly, I think they said 15 minutes. They're giving the presentation for the first ever Vincent J. McMahon Legacy of Excellence Award.
15 minutes?
That's what they said. That's what Michael Cole was mentioning about last night on Fastlane. So
it's a long 15 minutes.
Well, I'm sure people are going to give speeches, and whoever they give the award out to, they're going to...
They really didn't even explain the award.
No. They just said it's like... Actually, they kind of did, but you had to read about it. They said basically whoever was big with wrestling in the back, up front, and I guess corporate or so.
So no wrestler.
No, but it could be because in the front, meaning wrestling.
Okay.
So I was actually thinking about this the other